What's going on, y'all? It's your boy James Grayson, aka Phonic Villain, or whatever else you want to fucking call me. We are out here. I mean, I'm in here, but you know what I mean. We out here. We got another one today. Just gonna be a quick tips and tutorials and techniques on movement and transitions with some beats. Using it for intro to verse, or um, it could be a bridge to your chorus, or however you want to use it. Just using how to use some drum breaks and how to use some sound effects to create more interesting transitions and movements. As also everything that I've got from a sample pack here can be downloaded, is free. I will put those sample pack links in the description, as well as the free plugins that I am using, the free effect plugins that I'm using on the drum break. So without further ado, let's get into this shit. All right, so let's start with the drum break. So I just found a drum loop. Okay, found that drum loop. Okay, time stretched it. It's obviously at 141 BPM. This is at 92. Real quick, if y'all don't, if someone's like, how the fuck do I do that? It'll, every time you load a sample from here into your library or wherever into your DAW, it will always be at resample. Just click here, switch it to Stretch Pro, fuck with your time knob, and you just want it to either adjust to however many bars you want or however many beats you want. This instance, I made it an 8-bar loop, and I cut it off right here. Cut the end out, cut out the rest, and you just are left with this, which is here. And I'm just going to solo this so we can just hear that. Okay. So I got some effects going on here just to give it some dirt and some grit. Real quick, I just put some EQ on it. Just cut off some low ends, boosted the high ends ever so slightly, and dipped that mid just because there's a lot of crazy shit going on, as you can hear. I also put on Somatic's Deja Vu. This is a This is a relatively newer plugin that I believe is free only for a limited time. So if you're seeing this shit and it's in the description, fucking get it before it's not, free. It's a very simple yet very effective plugin that is basically a cassette tape emulator that you can use. This right here, up here, is like the time on when the pitches in your sample are when they're shifted, basically. So I have mine set at 1/16, so every 1/16 second there's pitches in my sample that are being, shifted, I believe, randomly. I don't know that they set an algorithm in here. I wouldn't know. You got fade in for how soon you want that pitch shifting to start, and you got fade outs for how quickly you want it to leave your sample, or if you want it to just stay there infinitely. They also have speed modes on here, which justify the speed your pitch is going to be shifted. They also have some high and low cutoff here, which I have this low pretty high, but it's just because, like, this is it with it high. Whoops, now we gotta go fucking do this again. This is fun. So that's how I have it. That's without it. So it sounds kind of, messy, disorganized, all that kind of shit. If that's what you're going for, go for it. It's not what I'm going for in this instance, so that's what I did. On top of that, I added I think, another relatively new plugin. It is a compressor by Bedroom Producers Blog. I will also leave this in the link, or in the description. I'll leave the link in the description. Goddamn. It's a I don't know what type of, if there was a compressor they were emulating or not, but it's a pretty good one from this, one time that I've used it. So without the, that's it without the compressor. That's it with the compressor. If you don't have headphones on or a good audio system, you're not going to hear a difference. If you do, you will. That peak reduction is just kind of helping out with keeping things somewhat compressed and not so fucking messy. And then I also have some dirt on there. This is it without the dirt. This is it with the dirt. Again, subtle yet effective. And I put another equalizer on top of that, just to control those mids a little more, cut off those lows again after it's been, compressed and there's some saturation in there, there's some dirt, it's going to cause some distortion. And then I also ever so slightly brought the highs down on this one, just because the high is boosted or even at normal level. It's just not what I'm looking for. Okay, so that's what we got on this drum break that we have in here, right? Okay, which next leads us to the sound effects that's going on here. So we got a siren that's going on, right? And then we've got a we've got like a record scratch and like a horn stab, I would call it, I guess. And also a glitch effect here. So I'm just going to single them out and play them single-handedly. Okay. Got a little record scratch there. And then this is, cool little... I feel like that's like a record scratch right on like a stab, like a horn stab. But I could be wrong. And then I also just have a little glitch in here. Just like a little... It sounds like a little tape glitch. So this is it with everything. So that, I feel like, combined with the beat, just adds a lot to it. To be honest, with these effects, with these sound effects, I didn't really do too much. The siren, I did pitch down, and I pulled the formant shift down a little, to like what, 200, 500, yeah. Just to make it sound darker, give it some of that dark ambience and shit. So I'm gonna play it without the effects real quick. This little intro into the verse without the effects. So, you can use negative spaces in times where the beat drops out or something drops out, like an empty space as a transition. Excuse me, sorry. But I don't want to do that in this instance. So, like I said, sometimes you don't even need to do all of this for a transition. Sometimes all you got to do is drop shit out. But in this case, I didn't fly that way. So this is it with everything. I mean, to me, that's just, it just sounds like some shit's about to happen. And especially, I just, this is a track that I'm going to be using in my upcoming album. Shout out that, that'll be out, I don't fucking know when, but sometime soon. But, for me, I'm going to be rapping right when this verse hits. So this is great for especially like right when, it just sounds like something's about to happen. And if you have an artist that's about to fucking just come in there right when that fucking beat comes in, dude, like that shit hits. You know what I mean? Like that shit. I like that shit. So, yeah, that's just a quick little tip tutorial and a little bit of technique video on some more movement transitions and using effects and drum breaks to kind of add that to your tracks for some different flavor. You can do this in many different ways too. I just happen to use this as an example off of a boom bap track, sorry. But you can do this shit with, anything, any genre. You can do this shit. Sound effects are a great thing to use for adding ambience, adding a new sound, adding something different in your beat without, going through the trouble of like, fuck, I gotta like figure out a lead that sounds good with it. Like sometimes it gets exhausting trying to find things that work when it just doesn't work. And all you have to do sometimes is just throw a little effect in there, because it offers flavor, it offers something different. You don't get bored. You hear an 8-bar loop and you're just like, okay, I'm fucking tired of this. And then, maybe a few effects in there and you're like, oh shit, okay, like I'm fucking with that. That mixed with fucking with the beat a little, cutting beats out, when rappers are spitting their shit, and a mix of all of that is gonna be what sets your tracks apart from other people's. So just keep that in mind. And that was my fucking TED Talk. So thank you for listening. But that's the video, guys. Thank anybody and everybody for watching. Let me know if you want me to go through a breakdown of this beat. Let me know, if you want more of these type of videos. Let me know what you want, man. Let me know if there's some type of shit you want me to make next or whatever the fuck. So I'm out of this motherfucker. See y'all on the next one. Peace.
So sick with this shit, think I caught the flu. No motherfucker, I don't do that, my OUs. All that bullshit be what my eyes see through.